You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Frustration get the better of you and make you do things you should never do. You got to keep the faith, you can't surrender. You never know, tomorrow may be brighter. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now, we gotta keep on trying. Keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. As long as you have health and strength, reaching your goal, nothing should prevent. Every time you fall, get up again. Don't sit down there like that and complain. You got to stand up and continue fighting. Don't give up, keep courage, you must win. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now, we gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Obstacles will get in the way, stumbling blocks to hinder your day. But you can't afford to let them stop you. No matter how hard it is to go through, you got to stand up and continue fighting. Endurance shall win in the ending. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now, we gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Strong positive mind, negative thoughts, leave them behind. We got to go forward in sure certainty. Let no element humbug that possibility. But if you give up, you have no way of knowing if next day would have brought good tidings. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now, we gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on.
so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover, 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 cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover, 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 the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, 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 cover me, cover me, cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYU 95.9 FM listen. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. And of course, joining us shortly will be political scientist Dr. Shane Mohammed. And as you know, ladies and gentlemen, we say it doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear. You have on a purple t-shirt, a burgundy t-shirt. Each and every one is welcome on Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. Of course, ladies, and we always say that we originate, we don't imitate. We are the only program dedicated to the people of Trinidad and Tobago that brings you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, we guarantee that we'll bring you facts, not fiction. And you know, they say that facts are very stubborn. It is hard, very hard to defeat facts. But take a listen to this.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, we do hold very steadfast to what we put in an audio to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the people living across the world. Let me bring in my pal, the man himself, the one and only, the young man. I think they say from somewhere in the country. I don't know if they just call him a country bookie. I ain't sure, but he could tell them. Or he from another place with a bell in it. I know. The one and only Uncle Tommy. Tommy, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Wall Street, and to our Sunday Talk audience.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward to a special Sunday afternoon. A little frog in my throat. Hopefully I can pull it out soon enough. Mm-hmm. But all's well, and I thank God for this day.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's a blessing. Every day above dirt is a great day. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
It's a blessing that we could come here. Tommy, 4 days a week, you know.
Yep.
It ain't easy, you know, Tommy.
This I know.
It ain't easy, boy. Sometimes
I think people just see the end product and they just think, but yeah, I think easy for them, man. Easy for them. Plenty work, plenty work.
For sure.
Yeah. So we had a little change here
Especially
today.
lately.
Huh?
Especially lately.
Yeah, man. It's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. Shanika York was in first today. Shanika, welcome. Or welcome back, I should say.
Welcome back, Shanika.
Yeah, but she pip Volsang boy. She pip him. You know what I say by pip, right?
Yep. Just barely made it before.
Yeah. She lean on the tape and she take it, boy. Volsang boy. You had to rev the engine a little earlier.
Yep. Put it in overdrive a little faster.
Yeah. You can't be driving automatic, man. You had to go with a manual. Volsang says good afternoon to all. Shanika says Wall Street and Tommy and all the beautiful people listening and watching. Hey, you remember where Shanika from?
No.
I know
New York?
I know
Brooklyn?
she local or if she foreign. I thought she was foreign though,
I was thinking she's Brooklynite,
Okay. Valerie Pierre. I think that's the first time Valerie here. You feel so?
Welcome, Valerie. Welcome
Valerie,
to
tell where you're joining us from. And I didn't see that. I went to school with some peers, Tommy.
Yeah.
It was like about 6 or 7 of them,
6 or 7 pears. No apples.
Yeah. Plenty pears, boy. Plenty pears.
No mangoes.
I ain't going no mangoes or no apples. Only pears, boy. Plenty pears. Plenty of them, And they could have run. Oh God. When you see, boy. I wonder if anybody in the chat ever attended Calvary Roman Catholic school, boy. Tell me that is a school in tongues, so you ain't gonna know about that.
Nah, I ain't gonna know about that at all.
No, you ain't gonna know about that. Kamini, welcome.
I heard of it.
Yeah. Bernadette KR, boy. Bernadette KR. Bernadette, what does that KR stand for, Bernadette? Watch yourself, be careful, Bernadette. Careful, right, Tommy? Bernadette KR, boy.
Wow.
Yeah. My brother former wife named Bernadette, Yeah. And Bernadette live up in Village Council Street, boy. I can never forget that, Lisa Gerard. Blessings, everyone. It's good to be in the land of the living. I no joke, Lisa. Hey, look, we partner from Fishing Pond.
Mm-hmm.
Good day, Uncle Tommy and Wall Street. Locked on all this. Now, share the live. Yeah, folks, share the live.
Yeah,
Lord,
that's right.
our heads over water so we can see land again. We are drowning in Trinidad. Today, menu dal and rice with fried karaili. That's karaili, right?
Mm-hmm.
Karaili. You ever had fried karaili?
Of course.
I never had that.
You know what karaili is?
But you're asking answers?
Okay.
You mean? Karaili is the one with the kind of like bumps out the outside.
Bitter melon.
Yeah. I had that real good for you,
Great for you.
Yeah, but I don't know how you go fry that. Like how you fry plantain?
Yes, same way.
With regular oil?
Well, coconut oil is always the best oil.
No, I never had no fried karaili growing up in Chumaka. Sorry.
What did you have in Chumakak?
Rice and peas.
That's all?
Corn beef.
Okay.
Corn beef and rice. Potato and oil.
Potato and oil.
Yeah. You know about that? You never had that? No. Sorry. That poor people food. That not kind of food that you grew up on.
Potato and oil.
Yeah, potato and oil. Never had that? Mashed potato and put some oil in it.
I thought they used to put butter in mashed potato.
You ever have condensed milk and bread?
Wait. That's what you used to have?
You have had condensed milk and bread.
Don't remember.
Them is what people food are telling you. Them food you ain't gonna remember about them. I know you had corned beef though. I know you had corned beef.
Of course.
Yeah, I know you had corned beef, but you never had condensed milk and bread. You know you never. I mean, them kind of thing. Plenty people in Trinidad they know about condensed milk and bread.
What kind of bread? Hops bread?
You know what I mean? Hobbs bread you go down by the bakery, buy some hobbs bread and you come back home. You understand? You have no butter, you have no cheese, you have no egg, condensed milk, boy. Tastes real good, you know. Yeah. What I mean? Yeah. Plenty people know about that.
That probably tastes sweet.
Yeah, but you just put enough. That's the idea. You put enough condensed milk in that bread and you're good to go. Bremer Hall, where you joining us from? That's a new name. Where you joining us from?
Oh, welcome to the village.
Yeah,
Welcome to the talk.
Yeah, welcome to Sunday Talk. A good afternoon to Uncle Tommy Wall Street and all wonderful people on the chat. Nadira, boy. Nadira, where you been, Nadira? Nadira, like she in and out, boy. She like the Prime Minister, she in and out. Exactly, was you give up your time to educate the citizens. I know joke, you know. You think that easy, Nadira? Oh God, Uncle Tommy, like you need a punch and lime and saltfish. Yeah, boy. Like Tommy, that fella talking about like your throat little groggy, saying, boy.
Yeah, he ain't lying. It's that time of year.
You just use punching for that?
Well, I guess. I don't know. I haven't used any lately.
Punching, lime and salt? That's a remedy?
Yeah, that supposedly would help.
But you go take expensive punching and put lime and salt in it for that? But that might get you drunk, right?
But you don't want too much to get you drunk. You just want enough to knock out whatever it is.
We gargle with it, though.
You drinking it?
You swallowing it?
Of course.
Man, I could be drunk with a frog in my throat. I could be a drunk frog. And I never had that. You had that before?
Yeah, a while back.
You had punching, lime and salt? Serious?
You ever had that before?
Nah. I never had that. Look, we partner from fishing ponds. Bijan, welcome. Yeah, so.
I like mackerel right now. You know what mackerel?
There's a snake in mackerel. A snake.
Move again.
Mackerel.
Yeah. When mackerel very full, can't move again.
Yeah, the rest.
Oh, okay.
Here it is.
I don't write it.
With, Philip Alexander. Take a look at it. Make some comments there.
Which one?
I'm now sending it there for you.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Bless. Right, man. Yeah. Bijam. All right. I'm gonna leave that alone. Volsang says safe to say Shanika whooped my ASS by 6. Yeah. She look up. Yeah, she like that song. Who sing that song, boy? Shorty Lickshi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Baran.
that was I thought it was Shorty for me.
Nah, Baran's who sing that.
Baran?
Yeah, when you just come out.
And
Mr. Wall Street.
Yeah, understand.
Good to you, Uncle Tommy, all the listeners. My boy Brooklyn, KFC, Kunji. That man I just want to tell him good day at all.
Who is that?
About that evening, some Gordon something.
Oh,
Don't make no sense. Yeah, people that start cussing. So I'm not playing it in the little box and people cussing, but I want to know who is that man, what school he went to. But Wall Street,
Eh.
Uncle Tommy grew up nice or what?
Yeah, you grew up. Yeah, tell it. I'm glad.
But that man
Anderson,
grew
wait.
up well
Anderson,
like
wait.
Diddy.
I'm glad we exposed a kind of underground life that you want to tell people about.
Yeah. You be listening, most of them delicious thing you don't know at all. Trini delicious.
You don't know about that?
You must know about condensed milk and bread.
You must know about that.
When your mother making the porridge. But you pass to slices and drop of whatever kind of bread it.
Eh.
You put that syrup or whatever. And you drain that condensed milk, but sometimes you teeth in the condensed milk.
Correct
Teeth
is
in
right.
bread.
Yeah.
Because you might can't touch other things, eh? But I want to get one since the other day, Wall Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know your uncle told me must never eat that. Eat that. Sweet bake.
Sweet bake.
Sweet bake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna know about
So
that.
that flour, now you ain't gonna buy flour, sugar, you hot your oil, you stir that, you cut a little baking powder if you want. And then you fry that. You call that sweet bake.
Yeah. Nah, Tom ain't gonna know about that. He ain't gonna know about that.
I know about that at all.
He gonna know about bake. You understand?
Yeah, the normal bake.
Yeah, you gonna know about normal fried bake.
No coconut bake.
And sugar.
Yeah.
You gonna know about coconut bake and them thing.
Now you gonna know about coconut bake. You gonna know about coconut bake.
It seems like they're calling all them executive in the PNM, all them MPs, they call them in a room, one by one. I can't use the language only must use to them.
Oh God.
But you say what, Sean?
Yeah.
All of the effort thing.
Yeah.
Right? All of the effort up. If all who want the effort up, all of them look at that bright future in the PNM.
Yeah, he tell them
dismantle all you.
He tell them
one by one.
You know he tell them Anderson, he tell them Massa they not done. Massa they ain't done.
So I watch the rest of them.
Oh God.
Who concurred and come to that conclusion that I watch them as house slave. All of them who saying George Chambers wasn't African, house slaves again. And one of my sisters, I have 6 sisters. That's when I say one of my sisters, all of them must be the show my way. Tell me that, One of my sisters tell me, Anderson when you go on the radio, all who back in Stuart Young, refer to them as house slaves.
Oh good. Anderson, please don't throw your sister under the bus. Don't throw your sister under the bus.
No. I'm not saying it's show my way. Told me that, you know. How about that sisters?
Oh, them is PNM too? Them is PNM too?
You about telling you?
Okay. So your cousin was supporting Stuart Young then?
My nephew?
Yeah, your nephew. That your nephew. Yeah. He was supporting Stuart Young.
He will have a chance. He will have a difference. He got to go the floor. Remember he young and around these high tech criminals, these professional bandits, these professional pipers. So he had to know the thing.
Anderson, why you calling them bandits? Why you calling them bandits? Why you calling them bandits?
Yeah, they professional bandits. If anybody could go, anybody. And the kind of bandit is there. Is them high class bandit who don't share at all. Because sometimes if them fellas go and the hustle or the break somewhere, and you might be up for them morning and load that thing coming in each time. Somebody might say, hey, boy, you can't listen, but you're good, boy, all that. And drop a case or something, or a case or something. Like, for instance, the other day when they break Coconut Growers Association, the coconut factory across by me there, the oil factory. He went no way, but I happened to get up in time. A van going up the road, a load up of things, man. A man threw off a case and said, hey, boy, look at nothing, boy. That's the mayor, that's the councillor, you know. That's the name that they call me, the mayor, the councillor. But nevertheless, we face dark times in Trinidad and Tobago, Wall Street. You see that man up there? I will tell you 2 things. My sister also tell me, when PNM lost, she want to hear some of them. Not show me, let me show me out of that. She said when PNM lost, she wanted to hear some of them. Right? Also said too, you see that thing called convention? I believe they're going to vote for convention and say they don't have anybody going up for leadership for convention. This is the words coming out of my somebody who I look up to so much. Foster Cummins. Regardless of how much he have in the back door, how much he have hanging over here, what people say about him. That is long time politics. What people say and how you get money and how you get money. Right? Because some people get, look, before I finish, let me say good day to the Honorable Dr. Munilal, Senator Wade Mark, and one thing I need you to do for me, and Senator Damian Lila, one thing I want you to do for me, Wall Street, when you put on your program, either share, you have a group called Brothers Keepers. When you share that, when you share your program, and Brothers Keeper, your program go all over the world.
All right.
As usual. So every time your program turn on, the first share of them is Senator Wade Mark. Mr. Mark, I know you're listening. Good day. He said, Anderson, man, I'll be listening to the program, you know. I like trying to call you, watch it, to tell you when you put on the program, please say good day to Senator Mark. I will send his number for you, then you can give him a call whenever you feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know Dr. Munila is listening. It's take time over the busy schedule to listen to this program. Eh?
I hear that.
Tell me about it. He said, Anderson, Mr. Mark said, Anderson has enjoyed the program, man. Nice program, man. And he calling out the name better than me, but I WZ, whatever it is, he calling it out Franco, man. Although he does have a little horse voice, he calling it out. So I sure he listening right now. Yeah, but dark days ahead, not for the country alone, and brighter days ahead for the UNC. Because the layman and the government, they hear them talk. And you see me voting for no so and so Chinese. I can't use the words they use them. Not radio friendly. And you see me voting for that Chinese, you know. I mean, I like my PNM, but some of them tell you, I talk about PNM people that meet me on the road. I'm under them. They know I go through my little pressure. And the snake get my passage, but if I can, I get them 5 still. Because, you know, this thing with Stuart Young, people talk about not African thing, they go see come this election. It's the biggest cutters PNM gonna get. People ain't voting for that man. Me asking you, people displeased and not pleased. When Ms. Beckles, when the news reporter speaking to her, she said she had no comment, she straight to talk. Poor lady. I was only seeing that leadership going to Foster Cummins. Foster Cummins, nobody else. I mean, the man can speak when he speaks, he well spoken. You see, I hear him talking, I shared it with you too as well, on a program stating that Mr. Young, whenever the Prime Minister go anyway and foreign countries just calling, man, mean dark days. And I don't see the PNM in him. So as a president, make it better for me as a supporter of the UNC. My whole affiliation, everything goes with the UNC. But whenever you have my support, one should have a listening, because that's the names that play some music.
Hey, I'm going to play a song for you. Listen to this song. I'm going to play a song for you. All right?
All right.
Yeah, man. Right. Bless. Tommy, Anderson asked me to play this song for him. I think Brooklyn asked me to. COP asked me. KFC asked me. Rock actually asked me to play this one. Gon Joseph didn't ask me either. Let me see.
I was saying I see this Stuart Young appointment as a positive thing.
For who?
For the opposition.
All right. So they could win easy.
Correct, it's right.
Oh God, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy, buddy. Tommy, that's that. Yeah, you had people wondering there, you know, Tommy. The ICC up getting ready to dial the phone, you know.
No, but you see, no bad breeze don't blow.
All right.
You understand? Because when you really think about it, the most important nursery rhyme or song we ever learned is "Row, row your boat gently down the stream." You know?
Oh yeah. But said. Go ahead. Sorry.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's the most important song you'll ever learn.
But anyway, yeah, Tommy. So Gordon Joseph, they want me play this song. Patty, they want me play it. P&M Fox, they want me play it. COP tell me to play it. Brooklyn tell me to play it. Anderson tell me to play it.
Rock tell you play.
Even Volsang tell me to play it too, you know.
Rock tell you play it either?
No. Rock actually tell me he don't listen to that. He ain't listening to that. Let me see who else, boy. Who else tell me to play? No, D-Ra tell me to play it too, you know.
All right. Well, let it rip. Let it rip, Mr. DJ.
Kamini tell me too, boy. It's plenty people, you know. I say, wait.
Let it rip.
Lisa come in for the first time and she said, play this song. I said, play, all right, play this song. Even Mr. Intellectual tell me play this song. So folks, you know when you guys make requests, we are here to your requests. So here is this song.
No more rain. No more rain. No more rain. No more rain. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowling again. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. We're not watching for you. We tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of the potholes and all the excuses. Tired of no water, tired of stretching at the law, tired of the high grocery bills. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowling again. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. We're not watching for you. We tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of the potholes and all the excuses. Tired of no water, tired of stretching a dollar, tired of the high grocery bills. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowling again. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. We're not watching for you. No more rain. No more rain. No more rain. No more rain. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowling again. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. We're not voting for you. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. Bye bye Rowling, bye bye. We're not voting for you.
You have it, Tommy.
Yep, there it is.
Here it is. KFC, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Washington Uncle Tommy, man.
What's happening, man?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Team PNM, man. Short, young, and what's up? Coming up on board and Team PNM, man. But Wall Street.
Yeah.
I read disrespect, you know.
Boy.
Yeah, I see that woman with Trinidad David down there, she feeling disappointed.
Boxel. Yeah. But KFC, wait. I want to ask a question. Tommy, you see anybody there from Stuart Young constituency? Well, let me say that based on what the media reported. Did you see anyone there from Stuart Young constituency?
Nope.
Just asking. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody else saw.
Did anybody see anyone from Stuart Young constituency? I'm just asking. KFC, you see anyone?
I ain't seen no one. I see it and I saw it on TikTok and Instagram. Then I see like you were down in the constituency down there. Down in the hub down there, about 4 or 5 mega shoot. he went down there and fooling the people and now.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Good afternoon to my MP, Vanda Mohammed. Because me, he want a part of the Prime Minister's corridor down and the bottom down the two door touch boy. Like we don't know what we want to know, Mr. Washington. Tell us so we don't know what we want. But Mr. Washington address, Mr. Good afternoon to understand the crew down and the bottom down there, Tunji, Brooklyn, and all the true warriors.
Yeah.
I want to them a black this and black that Mr. Washington waiting on them. They say all the years them black people them learn nothing for black people. Sure, I'm gonna come and do something for black people in East West Corridor. You believe that?
Oh God. Well, yes.
I know.
Yeah, man. Bless. Tommy, here is a song that does very rarely play on radio, but is of great significance. Listen to this song, folks, by D Diamond.
Yeah. I used to feel proud. I used to feel glad just to be born right here in Trinidad. The Caribbean Godfather, hand up chutney pan and soul. Like something gone wrong, the whole country turn upside down. Cause we feeling the pain, we feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love here? There's too much of talk and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. I'm feeling this strain. Yes, it's pain driving the country insane. Whoa, whoa. It's endless murders, robberies and rape, little children, seniors none shall escape. We promoting tourism, begging the tourists to come. Between you and me, those with eyes to see, let them see. Cause we feeling the pain, we feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love here? There's too much of talk and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. I feel the pain, I feel the strain. Yes, it's pain driving the country insane. Did I know? Oh. Whoa, whoa. Unemployment high, and this ain't no joke. Youth leaving school, can't find no place to go. Then you retrench a worker, he's left on the street to suffer. Not only he, you destroy the whole family. Cause we feeling the pain, we feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love here? It's too much of talk and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. Yeah. We're feeling this strain. Yes, it's pain driving the country insane. Whoa. much corruption right here in this land. Illegal drugs destroying this nation. While migrants and destitutes, they are left on the street alive. It just goes to show we lack concern in Trinidad. Cause I'm feeling the pain, feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love? Yeah. It's too much of talk, and little action. Like we need the master to solve this situation. Sing the song. We're feeling the strain. Yes, there's pain. Like in the country and Spain. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And of course, Tommy, many people resonate with that. Under this Prime Minister Rowley-led government, they're feeling the pain. It's pain. Pain after pain after pain under Prime Minister Rowley. And then, you know what happened? Just showed her welcome. And Capitan welcome. And you know what happens to now? Instead of letting the democracy of...
Dirty. Don't...
Go ahead.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, you remove yourself. You have to put yourself back in. Yeah, instead of letting democracy prevail, it's democracy. And you know the sad thing, boy? But folks, let me say this, we could be upset with the PNM MPs, but let me take this call. Caller, welcome. Caller. Mova Defender.
Blessed evening, Wall Street, Uncle Tommy.
Blessed evening to you.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
If I was to believe that if all PNM 21 MPs signed that willingly, Foster coming facing our press conference yesterday, tell a different story.
As well as Penelope Beckers.
Was that press conference yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it.
Foster Cummings looks sad.
And Penelope Beckers wasn't.
No, she's from the top. She's from the top.
Yeah. Her face alone.
Not that call you for.
Yeah.
I didn't read birdie there.
Yeah.
Whisper my right ears. Is he right ears, eh?
Yeah, the right, not the left, the right.
Right ears.
Yeah.
And tell me, Mr. Leons might have a change of heart.
And going back up?
Watch that in a little red birdie whisper my ears.
So I could call him and find out. I could call him and find out.
I gave him a call, but you don't got Tommy phone, your phone not. All right.
Yeah. All right, but we had to call Adrian Leons, boy. Let me see if Adrian will pick up his phone, boy. Adrian Leons, boy. Okay, look, Brooklyn. All right, just stop. Yeah, what it is?
You play a song, say, we feel any pain. So if we feel any pain, what we have to do to take away the pain? I send you my music. You send you any music time. You have to get them my song too.
All right, I'll get them your song.
Take away the pain?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah, man. Bless. All right. Brooklyn. Let me call Adrian Leons first. Let me see if my partner go pick up his phone. Let me see. Tommy, we calling Adrian Leons. Oh, God. Caribbean Soul, a lovely good afternoon. Georgia says, Wall Street, Rowley put Stewart as PM so he could put himself as the president. Nah. Once Prime Minister Rowley stepped down, I don't know if he go. Tommy, we had to start making these calls from your phone. All right. Or let me try Stuart Young, see if Stuart Young will pick up his phone. Now he's the Prime Minister in waiting. Stuart Young. We just trying to. We just trying to. Yeah? It's better to try and fail than fail to try. The phone ringing, eh? It ringing. So folks, we're trying the future Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Stuart Young. The Prime Minister in waiting. Okay. No answer there either, Tommy boy. Tommy boy, I ain't got no answer there. You know, I was gonna do something. So Tommy, we tried, and we ain't get no answer. But I want to play Patricia Hutchinson, welcome. And Gordon Joseph, good afternoon. I want to play my editorial. Let me play my editorial early today. Tommy. Tommy, your mic muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play the editorial. Let's
get
that out of the way, because once Shane comes, we're gonna be busy.
Yeah. Let me play the editorial. Because once he comes in. So folks, I want you all to listen to my editorial. It's a message to Prime Minister Rowley, the PNM General Counsel, and Stuart Young. A farce of democracy. The PNM's capitulation to Dr. Keith Rowley. That's why I say every single one of them have to go. All of them. All. No man Jack left. None. Zero. No man Jack left, Tommy, sorry. John Bojan, welcome. Yeah, so listen, folks. A farce of democracy. The PNM's capitulation to Dr. Keith Rowley. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. The recent decision by the People's National Movement, PNM General Council, and all of its members of parliament, MPs, to endorse Dr. Keith Rowley's anointment of Stuart Young as the next Prime Minister is nothing short of a farce, a blatant mockery of the democratic values the party and its supporters claim to uphold. This orchestrated show of compliance raises serious questions about the PNM's internal democratic processes, the independence of its leadership, and the ability of its members to act in the best interest of the country. Dr. Rowley's move to handpick Stuart Young as his successor reeks of autocratic leadership, reducing the General Council and MPs to little more than rubber stamps. This was not a democratic consensus, it was an imposition. The General Council, the supposed backbone of the party policy debate and representation of diverse views within the PNM. Instead, it succumbed to political convenience, displaying an alarming lack of courage to question or challenge the leader's decision. Worse still, the silence of the PNM's MPs is deafening. These are individuals elected by the people, entrusted with the responsibility to represent not only their constituencies, but also to act as custodians of the nation's democratic principles. Their acquiescence to Dr. Rowley's unilateral decision undermines their credibility and signals a disturbing prioritization of party loyalty over accountability to the electorate. This is not just about Stuart Young. This is about the process, or lack thereof, by which he was selected. The leadership of a nation is far too important a matter to be dictated by one man's personal preference.
This decision deserved broad consultation, internal debate, and most importantly, input from the PNM's rank and file membership. Instead, what we have witnessed is an alarming centralization of power within the hands of Dr. Rowley, further eroding the participatory nature of the party. Stuart Young's qualifications, capabilities, and track record are secondary in this discussion. The fundamental issue is the blatant disregard for transparency and inclusivity. Even if Mr. Young is competent, the manner of his elevation casts a shadow over his legitimacy. A true leader would have sought to unite the party around an open and fair process, allowing the best candidate to emerge through merit rather than favoritism. This farcical episode underscores the urgent need for political reform within the PNM. The General Council must regain its independence and assert its authority as a democratic body. MPs must remember their duty to the people and not simply follow the dictates of their leader. Most importantly, party members and supporters must demand accountability and reject the culture of blind loyalty that has plagued the PNM under Dr. Rowley's leadership. In conclusion, democracy cannot thrive in an environment where dissent is stifled, debate is discouraged, and decisions are made by fiat. The PNM's failure to stand up to Dr. Rowley is a failure not only of leadership, but of principle. Trinidad and Tobago deserves better. Better leaders, better processes, and better governance. The time has come for the PNM to return to its democratic roots and restore faith in its ability to lead the nation with integrity and vision. If it does not, history will judge this moment as the point where the PNM abandoned its principles for the sake of political expediency. And that, above all, will be a tragedy for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
And you know, Tommy, the sad thing, Tommy, is that when you have people who make a decision and then you go behind closed doors and then all of a sudden you change your mind, right? You come out big, bad, and bold against it. And I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this again. In the PNM is the minority leading the 61% majority. The minority leading the 61% majority. People may not like that, but facts. And these are the facts, the whole facts, and nothing but the facts. What says you to me?
You see, we have to realize that every single thing that Manning said was true, except that now we are allowing bullying in the parliament.
Bullying in the parliament. You're absolutely correct.
Manning said we don't allow it in schools and we're not going to allow it in the parliament, but now it's being allowed.
Yeah. I felt that this was a great opportunity for these MPs, just as Volsang said, to stand on principle. Stand up on principle. But you see, Tommy, I understand why they couldn't stand up on principle. Because you never hear Dr. Rowley talk about him going and step down immediately as political leader, because he could hold that over the MP's head. When you come up for screening, I said it over and over, until your paper goes into the EBC, that fella could remove you. But folks, we're going for a quick break. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. When we come back, we should have Dr. Shane Mohammed with us. All right? Stick and stay. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington, you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Don't forget, folks, share the live. WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook and X. Subscribe. We on our way to 10,000 subscribers. WZYE TV and YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509. 973-609-6509. Remember, again, share the live.
A big one. Listen, man. Hear me now. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Now, all the thing. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. One more time. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. I build me a coffin. I make it my home. Because that is my only choice. This kind of life, I leave it alone. Because when I look around and I see man raping their own daughters mercilessly, man living with man, woman with woman. So how must I live? I can't understand. Look, I'm frightened to live. Whoa, I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. A bandit in my face with a gun. Take my own and began to run. I'm in the station reporting what the bandit do. I was the same bandit I was reporting to. Look, I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Come again, let me hear. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. One more time, come again. I'm frightened to live. Hey. I'm frightened to live. Hear me now. It is so obnoxious when I look around. Things I just hear and see. My God, how could I go on? Children killing children every day. Parents guiding their children to go astray. Tell me how those youths getting all those guns, and where in the world those guns coming from? Me see I'm frightened to live. Where you? I'm frightened to live. You come again. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Hear this. If in my ceiling they find coke and gun, it's my whole family they carrying down. But if the police get caught with the same refrain, all they're getting is transfer to do crime again. You see, I'm frightened to live. Hey, I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. Come again, let me hear. I'm frightened to live. Sing. I'm frightened to live. Music. Now you see this verse? This verse is my verse. I love verse. I want to listen to my verse. My verse. Yeah. If our child could die by the hands of a bandit, police may halfway search, they may never catch the culprit. But if Mr. Big Man child end up dead, they're going to paint the old damn tongue red, putting out all force and energy, finding the killer immediately. So how must I live? Well, I'm frightened to live. Come again, I'm frightened to live. Hey, hear this, I told the church, that's the answer. Listening to the priest preach on the altar, while taking in the words of the Almighty. You know the priest felting sweet at me, is the I'm frightened to live. Well, I'm frightened to live. Sing. Come again, let me hear. I'm frightened to live. Well, hey, I'm frightened. One more time. Yeah. Love all you.
Of course, many people in Trinidad singing that song, yes, Tommy, I'm frightened to live. I'm frightened to live. They're singing that song. Tommy.
And we gotta sympathize with them.
Eh?
We gotta sympathize with them.
Yeah. That's simple. I feel I gotta make a soca for 2025. You know. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So before we bring Dr. Shane Mohammed in, I don't know. All of a sudden, this fella think he's some musician or something. But let me play this song. And listen to this. This is Brooklyn. He says he's into music now. Listen. Hold on, eh?
Where's the volume? That's Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to go to this professional studio and have it mastered so that it's radio level.
Oh God, the song playing and he calling you.
Yeah, because you could barely hear it. It needs.
Yeah.
Roshi, that send it for Uncle Tommy. Your music ain't coming over at all.
All right, send it for Tommy. I go let Tommy play. But Brooklyn, wait now. The few voices are here. I feel like Baker, I see you make better than that song, eh?
Wait. We gonna
All right.
Brooklyn, you did it in a professional studio. You did it at home.
He gone.
All right.
Let's bring in
Dr. Shane.
Dr. Shane Mohammed. I don't know why Dr. Shane Mohammed always have the Red House in the background.
That's a great background. That's a great background, man. Dr. Shane. Congratulations.
Good afternoon, and Happy New Year.
Same to you.
We've spoken to each other, but I've not been on the show for a while, so Happy New Year. And all the very best to everyone listening and everybody locked on.
Same to you, Dr. Shane.
Hopeful 2025.
So, Dr. Shane, I know where to start. Tommy does normally say start at the beginning. So, Dr. Shane, were you surprised with what emanated out of Balizi House yesterday with all 21 MPs or all 20 MPs deciding that the 9 MPs who were considered to be dissidents decided that they were going to change their votes and 100% support Stewart? Were you surprised?
No, and I don't. The law is clear, The law is very clear. I think what happened in the retreat was twofold. On the one hand, you had Dr. Rowley indicating, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I done. And I had enough. I have reached the end of the line. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to hand over. And in the anticipation of the handing over, that there was an expectation that, it could be seen in different ways. One of the ways is that he masterfully allowed for a process to take place to see where he stood. Now, of the 20 that voted, 19 voted for Penny, 11 voted for Stewart. So obviously there was a division. And in the division, there was also somebody who ended up in the majority and somebody who ended up in the minority. Okay. So on the one hand, you had two persons emerging. So it cannot be said that, thank you, Nadira, thank you. It cannot be said by anyone that Dr. Rowley hijacked the party and
But
impose.
wait, Dr. Shane, I ain't want you to go too far. You know, they say, I normally say, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you cannot put it back in. Why do I say that again? When they went to the so-called parliamentary caucus in Tobago, and the 9 dissident PNM MPs voted against Young, the toothpaste was already out of the tube. So now they come yesterday and trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube after Dr. Rowley, the Prime Minister, who was not stepping down as a political leader, told it over their head that if you don't fall in line, there's a great possibility you may not be an MP in 2025 in the general election.
Well, I was getting to that point of the conversation, right? But it cannot be said that there was not a process, and we hear the word process is circulating in the PNM circles, that there's a process and there's a process to follow, and that demand, that the PNM is all about process, procedure, transparency, accountability. Okay, good. Structure, stability, X, Y, and Z. I'm not disputing that, right? So you had the caucus, and in the parliamentary retreat and the caucus, a vote was taken, and it ended up 9-11. Okay. But the law specifically states that it is the majority of the person where there's no undisputed leader, where there's no undisputed leader, the president shall appoint the person who commands the majority of support in the House. Now, if you do the maths, you cannot, in a slim majority of 21 to 19, where the House is 40 persons at the moment, obviously you need all 21 or at least 20 votes to go to the president, because you cannot go to the president with 11 signatures, because that is not the majority. What could possibly have played out, and Mohammed Ghani alluded to it last night, I believe, that if there was in fact, as you are saying, and I didn't doubt that there was going to be 9 dissidents. I didn't believe that there was going to be 9 dissidents, and they was going to run an election with 9 quote-unquote dissidents, because that's not how the PNM operates. Because even if you go to the parliament, to the president, and say, well, we are the majority of the PNM is the majority party, and in the majority party we have 11 out of 9 of 20 signatures, or 12 out of 20 signatures, or 12 out of 21 signatures, the president cannot appoint someone to be a minority prime minister, because then you have something very unique in the Westminster system available to the opposition, which is political negotiating, political jostling, and nothing stopped the opposition at that point in time from moving a vote of no confidence, tabling it and moving it, and then putting it to a vote in the parliament, and having 19 MPs of the UNC, and only 2. They only needed 2 of the 9 dissidents, as you are saying, to vote. And there's a no confidence motion in the Prime Minister, and then what does the Prime Minister have to do? The Prime Minister has to then dissolve the Parliament and call a general election. So that was a very real thing, and a very real mechanism of the Parliament that was available in that instance to not embarrass the Prime Minister, to not embarrass the political leader at that point in time, and not to risk the PNM losing a general election that would have imminently followed thereafter. you had them reach somebody, senior counsels, there is enough senior counsels within the PNM, made a call, even Martin Daly said it out loud, do not embarrass the president to appoint a prime minister who does not have the majority. Because majority means majority, commands the majority. So there's an expectation that where there's a 41 seats, the majority is 21. So in this instance, you have to have all. You can't have half. This is not like in the opposition. This is not like in the opposition with regard to the opposition leader. You can have a split in a political party, or you can have 3 different political parties forming the opposition, and the person who commands the majority of the support in the opposition becomes opposition leader. This is the government and the prime ministership, where you need all, or it's all or nothing. So what would have happened? Conversations would have been had. It is very hard to convince 11 to switch over, or to get 2 to switch to 11 to switch over to from 9 to 21 in favor of Penny. You have, as you are saying, there would have been also the conversations that 9 persons stand the risk of losing their candidacy, because you only become confirmed as a secured candidate in the general election after nomination day. And whether or not people want to believe it, or want to say that it destabilizes the political process and it makes a political party look weak and blah blah blah, as long as a political party is choosing candidates. So say, for example, James John is selected by the UNC to contest the Shoguana's West seat, and he's named as a candidate. As long as James John, if James John dies of a heart attack, or he falls deathly ill prior to nomination day, the UNC, as well as the PNM, as well as the TPP, as well as the PDP, and any other political party can, for whatever reason, change their candidate. If, however, nominations are filed in the EBC on nomination day, the candidates are locked, and there's no mechanism available to withdraw that nomination by virtue of the Representation of the People Act. So what you have, you can't pull it back. If somebody dead, somebody falls deathly ill, whatever the case may be, and there's no candidate, I don't believe there's a mechanism to fully candidacy beyond nomination day. So if that chances are Shoguana's West becomes unopposed to the PNM, and by virtue of voting, we can't count a dead candidate, right? So whilst there's 33 persons named as potential candidates, or as, because the party is not using candidates, they're using caretakers, if I'm not mistaken, or flag bearers. Flag bearers is the word the PNM is using in 2024. That Penelope Beckles has been selected as a flag bearer for Arima in the upcoming general elections, because you only become a candidate for the general elections after your nomination has been received. It is a choice of language, candidate, flag bearer, preferred, whatever the word is. People are using different words because in the age of intellectual growth and development and progress and all of that, people are becoming a little more learned. So at the risk of not losing their potential candidacy, they went to the General Council meeting yesterday, and the General Council approved, and they were able to secure the 21 signatures that they needed for Stuart Young to become Prime Minister. So that's locked. What is not locked by virtue of the utterances, let me quote the lady, Mrs. Jennifer Baptiste Primus has said that it has not been settled as yet, because until such time that a vacancy arises for political leader, then in the absence of a special convention, the General Council, by virtue of their different articles in the Constitution of the PNM, would then be charged with the responsibility of appointing and selecting a political leader. Now, out of last night, several things arose. One, we do know that persons did raise their concerns about the leadership of the party, the future of the party, the process by which a leader should be selected. That was ventilated. One. Two, most importantly, there were no motions put forward on the floor of the General Council to move a motion of no confidence in the political leadership of Dr. Rowley. There were no motions put on the floor to have Dr. Rowley removed as political leader or to step down immediately or upon resignation as Prime Minister also resign political leadership of the party. None of those things arose. So the apparatus, the mechanisms by which one can make certain decisions within the party framework was not utilized. Why? For the sole purpose and the sole reason that until 2026, Dr. Rowley can maintain his political leadership of the party and transition out accordingly. And the fact of the matter is, no vacancy has arisen by virtue of the constitution of the PNM for political leadership. No motions were tabled in the General Council to challenge or to question or to ask for the removal of or the resignation or immediate resignation of the political leader upon his resignation as Prime Minister. None of those things arose. And therefore the matter remains unsettled by virtue of the words of Mrs. Baptiste Primus. So until such time, there's a duality of political leadership, a duality of leadership. Now, I will say this. What does this do? This simply reiterates and cements my perspective that in a mature political system, you can have the duality of political leadership, where there is consensus between the political leader and the Prime Minister, or the political leader and the opposition leader, as the case may be. We also have to take into consideration that within the framework of the PNM, there's something called the Leadership Council, or the leadership team. And that leadership team is made up of the political leader, his 4 deputy leaders, the chairman, the vice chairman, the lady vice chairman, and the general secretary. So I have gone through the constitution of the PNM. I have looked at it. There's duality of leadership taking place in Tobago under the PNM structure. Kelvin Morris is the minority leader in the THA. Ansel Dennis is the political leader of the Tobago Council and deputy political leader of the PNM at a national level. Ansel Dennis is serving in the Senate. Kelvin Morris is serving in the deputy in the THA. That's one. At one point in time, we had duality of leadership in the PDP. Watson Duke was political leader of the PDP. Farley Augustine was deputy political leader of the PDP, but he was the chief secretary candidate going into the 2020 and 2021 general THA elections. So, duality of leadership, one could also argue, will only work to the benefit of those whose duality exists within and whose duality is relevant to the political space and relevant to their political gain, right? So, for now, I am not concerned. I think, as I said earlier on another station, I think the ball is in two courts right now. One, the ball is in court of Stuart Young, because Stuart Young now has to prove, he now has to prove that he is capable of being Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. He is capable of coming into his own and having very short period of time to create a political identity in the form of a prime ministerial candidate for himself. And then on the other hand, the UNC is now charged with the responsibility of putting together a very dynamic, charismatic, intelligent, strong, competent, capable group of persons that can beat the PNM. It's plain and simple.
Dr. Mohammed, I have analyzed this thing from afar, and it takes me back to one thing. This is my opinion, not Dr. Shane Mohammed or Tommy has his own opinion. In my estimation, it makes absolutely no sense for Prime Minister Rowley to want to step down as Prime Minister and stay as political leader. And to me, if the General Council... Huh? Say that again?
It does. It does make sense. You know why it makes sense?
No, but let me finish.
Because I said something very technically. Okay. I said something very technically because I take a position that I don't want to come across as a PNM hater, and I don't want to come across as someone that is beating down upon something in an adversarial sort of manner. What I did say is duality of leadership can exist and it can work where the duality of leadership suits the agenda. I'm now changing the words, but I just making it a little simplified. Suits the agenda and benefits the persons who are functioning in the duality of the leadership, of leadership. So in the instance that Dr. Rowley is holding on to political leadership, is because if he were to not hold on to political leadership at this stage of the game, I am not too sure, by virtue of a general council vote, that Stuart Young can win that vote.
And that's exactly...
And that is why I believe, for the stability of the party, and to not throw the party into a ruckus of serious, because yesterday was a teaser. Yesterday was a presser to what could happen, because the buses started to, the maxis started to offload in front of the Valley's house for what the members of parliament that were interviewed were deeming a normal meeting of the General Council. There was nothing normal about the meeting of the General Council, and for anybody who has intellectual understanding and is observing, there was nothing normal about the General Council meeting yesterday. Why? Because it was known that somebody within that framework of the 100 and some 200 people sitting in the General Council, somebody was going to get up and ask the Prime Minister and the political leader, why you just don't hand up everything one time and let me do what we had to do? Or somebody would have get up and say, well, why does it have to be Stuart and why it can't be Penny? Or somebody might have get up and say, well, why it can't be Foster? Or why it can't be Nian? Or why it can't be this? Why it can't be Emery? That is not eluding my political thought and my analysis. But at the same time, I am saying it works in the duality where there's consensus for both leaders that are holding leadership roles. It works for the stability of the party, the outcome of the election, and the benefit of the person who is most likely to benefit, which is Stuart Young.
So, I have come and I want to put this out into the atmosphere. People say I am a PNM hater, a Rowley hater. Just call me all kind of hate. You know what I mean? But when I come and I speak based on facts. And if I don't have the facts, I find out, I call and I ask people who are more intelligent than I am to get the information. At the end of the day, Dr. Shane Mohammed, when I analyze this whole thing, right, what Dr. Rowley did was totally undemocratic. And what he did is that he boxed these PNM MPs into a corner that they had no choice, none, zero, no duck, and to support whatever Dr. Rowley wanted. If Dr. Rowley wanted Faris Alwari to be the next prime minister whenever he resigns, it would have been Faris Alwari. If he wanted Penelope Beckles to be the next one, everybody would have put the tail between the leg and it's Penelope Beckles. Right? But what was surprising to me is that he called a parliamentary caucus and 9 of them decided, nah, we don't want Stuart Young. And then a few days later, all of a sudden, they had a change of mind and say, yeah, you know what? We want Stuart Young. And the only why they changed their mind is because the bully up in the penthouse, Dr. Rowley, tell them, all you watch now, I still, and a very astute move by him, I am still the political leader. In my estimation, if Dr. Rowley is going to step down as prime minister, he should step down as political leader, and he should not be in charge of screening for any candidate in the PNM. What says you?
Well, the thing about it is, let me ask you something. In the greater scheme of things of politics, I cannot say that he did anything illegal. There was nothing illegal. I am sure there are persons that was
undemocratic though. Undemocratic
though. So I get into that. I am sure that there are people that will say it was undemocratic, right? Let me ask you a question. If it was so undemocratic, look, somebody just said it. Why did not one damn dog bark? Why? You are general counsel. You have mechanisms before you. You all are all general counselors of this. Faris says he's been a member of the general council since 1996. What prevented anybody of the 200 people? Let me give it. Let me just be generous. Take away the 11. So what prevented 189 people? Let me add Dr. Rowley. What prevented 188 people that, let's just presume, would have probably had a majority vote if they tabled something on the floor? What prevented them from utilizing the mechanisms that were, quote unquote, that are democratically available to them? What prevented them? Absolutely nothing. You're in general council. Everybody says that general council is the second highest governing body and decision-making party, a decision-making organism of the People's National Movement outside of the national annual convention and annual special convention. So if you all are all sitting in the second highest decision-making body that can override even the prime minister and not a damn dog bark, then who is to blame? Dr. Rowley? Stuart? Why all they didn't do something? If only Why all they didn't do something? Because that's not how the PNM operates. Because somebody was going to come outside. It could have been Jennifer, it could have been somebody else. Would have come out and say exactly what happened behind those closed doors. You noticed? Penny Beckles walked out of the Balize house, and no matter how many times questions were posed to her, she walked out and she said, "No comment, no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment." I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. If I put myself forward for prime minister in a retreat, and the persons who voted for me could not mobilize others to come with me, and they all decided to go in the opposite direction, I can't fight it. But there's a but. Jennifer Baptiste Primus also said something very important. It is unsettled. It remains unsettled. And we wait to see. Dr. Rowley has until, well, the PNM has until September to call an annual convention. According to them, they use in September. You know, if the PNM goes into an election and they lost, all hell is going to break loose, right? And it is going to be open season for who could become political leader and opposition leader. So, what is to say today, this morning, this afternoon, there's strategies at play. The economy is bad, crime is out of hand, inflation is climbing, unemployment is high, poverty level is climbing, economic stagnation, lack of diversification, lack of opportunity for young people. We did complete nonsense. And we are highly unpopular. Now we see if we could try and lose this one and get the hard walk over to Kamala and whoever she chooses, and we will come back blazing in 2030 because we had time. Hasn't the PNM in the last 62 years been able to do that?
Well, I want them sitting on the bench for 10 years, not just 5, 10 years. I want them sitting on the bench for 10 years.
Well, Anselm, I don't believe in the philosophy but any political party in Trinidad and Tobago outside of the PNM should be aiming to just win an election and just hold power for 5 years. And that mold has to be broken if we are serious about governance in 2025. And if Mrs. Prasad Bissessa really and truly wants a very strong legacy and a resounding comeback legacy, then she's going to start selecting. And I was on a show that this morning I shared a platform with Mr. Marcel. I think it's Darian Marcel.
I-95.5.
I-95.5. So Mr. Marcel and I shared a platform on another platform. We were part of a panel discussion, him and I, and he said a very important thing, which is the onus is on Mrs. Prasad Bissessa to put forward a very strong team that can topple the PNM and move the PNM out of power. That will also, I am now saying, that will augur well for her legacy. It will augur well for this chapter of her political career. It will augur well for the UNC to be able to convince the country that they are capable of taking the reins and putting us on a pathway of progress and prosperity. And then the party will start becoming attuned to its processes of succession planning for 2030, 35, 40 and beyond. But if everybody just only trying to beat the PLM in 2025 and going in there and don't know what they're doing and do nonsense, then the PLM is going to come back resoundingly stronger in 2030.
So Dr. Mohammed, I just thought about something, right? we speculating here, right? And I don't like to speculate like this, but we have to put everything on the table. Let's say that the 21 or 20 MPs sign a letter or whatever they had to sign, and it goes on to the president that Stuart Young, when Dr. Rowley resigned, commands the majority of the MPs, right? Let's say the election comes and Dr. Rowley is still the political leader of the PNM. He's no longer the prime minister. Does that mean his detail goes away, or you still get that detail?
He gets a limited detail as a former prime minister.
A limited
That's
detail?
afforded to all former. That is afforded to all former prime ministers.
Okay, okay. And then the PNM wins the election with Stuart Young as the prime minister and Dr. Rowley still the political leader, because it's not due until 2026. Can then now that same...
No, Dr. Rowley could then, after the goal of winning the election is achieved, and Stuart Young has become Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago once again.
No, but wait a minute.
Dr. Rowley.
But wait a minute. Stuart Young is the acting Prime Minister, right? The PNM wins. Dr. Rowley is still the political leader.
No, don't confuse acting. Let's not put acting into the equation. When Dr. Rowley resigns, tenders his resignation to Her Excellency the President, it is almost automatic that the Prime Minister, the document is forwarded to Her Excellency with the signatures, indicating that we, the undersigned, supports having the majority of seats in the Parliament, support Mr. Stuart Young as Prime Minister, or for the position of Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, in the absence of him being the political leader, because he then becomes the right. So he doesn't become acting; he becomes Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and he then has the ability, the responsibility of announcing the date of the election.
Okay.
So take it from that point now. We go into the election.
All right. So we go into the election. We get that out of the way. We go to the election, and somehow some type of miracle happen, that somebody come back that wasn't here wasn't in Trinidad the past 400 years, and the PNM happened to win the election, right? So they are win it now with Stuart Young as the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley as the political leader. And normally, in a party, the political leader becomes the Prime Minister, right? Correct? Can Dr. Rowley now become the Prime Minister again? Or can he now, right? Or can the same document that made Stuart Young the Prime Minister be used to make him the official Prime Minister now?
No, no to both answers.
Okay.
Dr. Rowley, one, cannot become Prime Minister because he's not a member of Parliament. So he will not be a member of Parliament in the 13th Republican Parliament, which is what it would be in the next session. So one, Dr. Rowley will cease to exist as a member of Parliament. So he will no longer be eligible for Prime Ministership. That's one. And two, the document that you're asking about has to be dated and signed by it has to be signed by those. So they already have the signature. The document will have we, the undersigned, having the majority of seats in the Parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, do hereby support Mr. Stuart Young, Member of Parliament for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, as Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, dated this day, this month, in the year of our Lord, such and such, such and such. And You have the letter and they send to Her Excellency the President. You can't use that again.
Okay. So we get that out of the way, right? Now, does that mean to say that the PNM have to go and have an internal election for a political leader who will become the prime minister?
That's a possibility.
Huh?
That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
So because what I'm saying, I'm kind of walking through this thing here, right? In my mind, because what we have now is a person who is a prime minister with a different person as the political leader of the PNM, right? And if Dr. Rowley stays on until 2026, he'll be the political leader during a general election. And it is known that the party that commands, the person that commands the majority of support, right, and is the political leader, becomes the prime minister. Correct?
Right.
So
yes.
So he can no longer be the political. He had to resign, and that'll call a convention to select a new political leader.
I believe that as I say, the reason for Dr. Rowley remaining as political leader, which is going to be short-lived, Dr. Rowley is only holding on as political leader of the People's National Movement to maintain stability of the party to the general election. And once the general election is concluded, and let's just say the PNM wins, right? Dr. Rowley will automatically relinquish everything, and then the party goes to a special convention to elect a political leader. If the party loses, the same thing will happen. Dr. Rowley will automatically resign and say, right, I done. All the fix all the business. Choose whoever they want. So if they lose, the process becomes less complicated from the perspective of maintaining the stability of the government. If they win, the automatic thinking would be that Stuart Young led us to an election victory, and therefore he's deserving of the political leadership of the party, and therefore it will be an easier pathway for him becoming political leader of the PNM without a huge opposition or contest. You break up. You break up there.
My mic was off.
Yeah. I know some people are asking some questions, so let me just pull up the Constitution, section 76.
Yeah, I have it here too. You can tell me what section. Folks, if you have a question for Dr. Shane Mohammed, you can call with your question. Just make it your question. Go ahead, move a defender.
Dr. Shane, or she's an uncle to me.
Go ahead.
What should I want to put the first pen for Dr. Shane? Dr. Shane, hear me, right?
Dr. Shane, hearing him?
Clearly.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think the Prime Minister will resign before a legacy project? What is Dr. Rowley's legacy project?
No. Dr. Rowley has, okay, so what we may see as legacy projects.
Dr. Shane?
He break up there, y'all. I did not hear.
It's supposed to be called by September, if I'm not mistaken, right? Also, you have to call it at least some months before in advance, right? I wanted to.
Okay, so hold on. The general election. So wait, the Parliament, the life of the Parliament for this particular term of 5 years comes to a natural end on the 27th of August at midnight, because this Parliament began at 10 a.m. on the 28th of August 2020. So that on the 27th of August 2025 at midnight, the parliament ceased to exist. From the 27th of August, the government has 90 days by which an election has to be held. So until the 27th of November, there's a but in this instance. The but is, 1, the end of the financial year is September 30th, 2025. 2, Parliament will not be in session, so there will not be an opportunity to pass a budget or to read a budget. So there are certain apparatuses of the state institutions that will come into consideration in selecting an election date. My estimation is that the latest, and it is very late, that the government can have an election is either the 8th or the 15th of September. As it pertains to legacy projects, there are several at play. 1, Dr. Rowley is not going to hand up his prime ministership without getting a plaque put on the Port of Spain General Hospital Central Block, indicating that that's 1. 2, Dr. Rowley is not allowing anybody but himself to cut the ribbon for the opening of the New Tobago Airport Terminal. And there's a third one that he mentioned. So there are things that needs to be done. And he did say it. Give him credit. He didn't spell it out for all of us to in black and white, but he did say there are certain things and there are certain commitments that he has to carry out before he hands over the prime ministership.
Okay.
Exactly my point, Chief.
Right. So the next question.
Wait.
So the next question.
Move on. Dr. Shane, 1 minute. Ask your question and then we go Doctor.
One more quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think Dr. Rowley threw that out to see who supported him? Or Alison affair?
I don't think it's a matter of who is supporting him anymore, because it doesn't matter. It is a matter of who is supporting Stuart Young. And then when he realized that there was a huge division, he had to read some level of riot act for them. And the only thing that can be read as a riot act is choose your pathway. Do you want to become a member of parliament or remain as a member of parliament? Or these are 9 seats that can be easily be replaced. Arima can be easily replaced. Tobago West can be easily replaced. Lupino Border West can be easily replaced. La Joquita Talparo can be easily replaced. San Fernando West can be easily replaced. Point Fortin can be easily replaced. St. Anne's East can be easily replaced. So can Toko Sandy Grande and St. Joseph. Very easily replaced. That's nothing for the PNM to go looking for.
Caller, what's your question for Dr. Shane?
Good afternoon to you, Wall Street.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Tony. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Shane Mohammed.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Shane Mohammed, how hard it is for Dr. Rowley to call an internal election, and that we have a constitutional leader of the PNM, and then after he could resign. But why Dr. Rowley will want to try so much of tricks and games with the population? All the time they were saying 11 vote for Stuart Young and 9 a vote for Stuart Young. How it is they can have a PNM come together and all of a sudden they say 21 support Stuart. Should we believe that that was a secret meeting with negotiation taking place? All right, you're going to get this ministerial position and you're going to get that position. And we're seeing which part ministers and MPs keeping a blind eye and negotiating. And citizens head. That's why I see it.
All right, let Dr. Shane answer. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, COP. Dr. Shane, so what says you?
Listen, So okay, we need to make sure we understand that there are two things at play here. There is the political part of it, and then there's the government aspect of it. One, the PNM Constitution clearly states the term of office for which the political leader sits. That term of office does not expire until 2026 constitutionally by virtue of the PNM's constitution. So that's the political aspect of it. If the question mark is about the political leadership of the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, which is the political aspect of it, is what everybody wants to know, why nothing was done. Well, the place for that to have been done would have been the General Council last night. And they all spoke, including Jennifer Baptiste-Primas, who said there were no motions. That is as clear as day. If there were to be a motion of no confidence in the political leader, or a motion on the floor for discussion of the political leadership, or a motion that for the political leader to resign when he resigns as Prime Minister in one collective package, last night was your opportunity to table it. If they have General Council meeting next month, in the month of February, that's also an opportunity for them to do it. If they have a General Council meeting in March, that is also an opportunity for them to do it. That is for the PNM to do and the members of the General Council to do. What it does, however, is that it shakes the stability of the PNM going into a general election. And therefore, that is not happening. The next thing is, the Prime Minister also made it clear when he was in Tobago that it is known that there are no special conventions, and conventions of the party are not held in an election year.
No, but Dr. Shane, that is not in the PNM Constitution. That statement.
Well, right. Hold on.
That is not. That is Dr. Rowley.
Hold on. Like states, like countries in the governance structure, we have laws and we have conventions. By convention, which is by practice. We have inherited conventions from the Westminster system from England, which before, at the time of when we were gaining independence, had an unwritten constitution. That has since changed, if I am not mistaken. So the idea and the perspective of convention is also very real, like the perspective of the thing called precedent being set. Precedents are unregulated rules, right? Uncodified rules that now are part of the institutionalism of the judiciary and the other institutions. By precedent, a precedent has been set, right? So for example, when who is it?
Dr. Shane, I want you to hold that thought right here. We had to go for a break. So folks, we got to go for a quick break. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, Dr. Shane, and you. And if you have a question for Dr. Shane, you can call us here at 973-868-1444 or 973-609-6509. We're going to take that quick break and we'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with you.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Warshty, Dr. Shane, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's 1 to 4 p.m. Don't forget. Caller, hold on. Don't forget, Shady Live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook and X. Subscribe, WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444. Unmute your mic, Tommy.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. Don't forget, share the live.
Caller, hold on a minute. Dr. Shane, you can finish what you were saying.
So at the end of the day, we have to take into consideration that conventions exist, practices, right? And therefore, all political parties, for the maintenance of stability of the party and knowing that the political system is one that can be easily disrupted by things like vacancies and political leadership and aspirations and personal, has to be maintained. So in an election year, it will very much be an inconvenience for a party to put forward a system where you are electing a political leader, because it takes a lot of time, planning, execution, and whatnot, right? However, even if a special general convention is a special annual convention is not constituted, where a vacancy arises for political leadership of the party, the general council can fill that vacancy and then ratify it by a special convention within 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So you have mechanisms in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is for the PNM, it is for the PNM members to utilize it. If the PNM members don't utilize their mechanisms, then I think we need to hush and let them do their business, and then we have a different perspective. If people have a different view, if they have a different thought perspective, they have a different whatever, there's a general election that is due. If you don't have confidence in the PNM, there's an opportunity for you to express your dissatisfaction. That's all.
But I think, let me take this call. Caller, welcome. Caller, Caller,
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Dr. Mohammed, the Chumakan fan, Tommy, and the others.
What's your question for Dr. Shane?
My question to you, Dr. Shane, first it start off with a statement. I am glad to see that, you put a whole set of dashing bush in a pot with okras and so on, and it's amazing, not surprising, amazing to see how that has boiled down and how it has become so little bit after the pot was so full. And that's what's going on with all the set of talk, and look, everything just boiled down like that. My question, Mr. Mohammed, from the windows that you've been looking through, and this supposed to have the PNM doing stupidness and we go win, that's what the 6.5 of them saying. Have you seen the party that seems to be in line to take over, should the PNM do or start to do or continue to do stupidness? Have you seen the UNC put things in place to say win the next election? Have you seen them done things to put in place? I'm not going to refer to the question that Mr. Suraj asked this morning, but have you? Thank you.
All right.
So the answer to that is, I would like to see more. This is an opportunity for the UNC and its leadership to really and truly outshine the PNM. This is a golden opportunity. We may have never ever seen it become so easy before. But you know, some things that are so easy are the most difficult. That is where we are today. So, would I like to see more? Yes. Do I think there can be more political excitement? Yes. Do I want to hear less of rhetoric? Yes. So, I would like to see more from the people from the UNC, and I would like to see more inclusion. And I say more because there are people that I see that are emerging, and they are strong candidates, right? I would like to see more of those. I would like to see more young persons as well, competent ones, not yes men, because at the end of the day, the likelihood and the possibility of the UNC winning the next general election is actually much stronger than their chances in 2020. And it would be unfortunate for something to be so easy to evade the intelligentsia and the strategy of the United National Congress.
You know, I just wanted to get back to the subject that you raised regarding a convention in a year of a general election. And well, lately the PNM don't seem to want to follow democracy. Well, let me don't say the PNM. Prime Minister
Listen,
Rowley.
I must say though, I just, I have to trade Caribbean soul. I am so happy, that I am a PNM. I just cannot tell you what was said in General Council yesterday.
Well, you know something? I just say that. I have something here. Let me see if oh yeah, here it is. Hold on, This is an article by Akash. And let me read a quick paragraph there for you all. Let me read this. So it appears that something happened. Former PNM Arima chairman Kagni Kasimaya said that the unit was unaware of the post, but a maxi taxi full of Arima MP Penny Becker supporter from Arima came to Balize House. He said Arima's 3 representatives at the General Council were to present a motion seeking a leadership election convention. Now, I don't know what happened when they went into the room. Maybe Prime Minister Rowley pulled them into a separate room, right? And make them some type of promises. But I'm just reading from the article and I'm speculating why, because Foster comment says there was no motion from the floor, correct? Right? So maybe these people, maybe they realized that these people were coming and they were going to put a motion on the floor with respect to calling a convention, because Dr. Rowley says he's stepping down, even though he's still a political leader, to elect a political leader. So then when Dr. Rowley resigned, he could go away rejoicing.
No, but I'll tell you this. I want to say this. We also have to take into consideration that in this political jostle, and somebody asked the question, do I believe that there would have been negotiations and promises and whatnot? Let me tell you something. Political negotiations, negotiation for positions, negotiation for Senate spots, negotiations for portfolios, all of that is part of the whole that comes with gaining people's support. And it is not illegal, it is not unethical. If you cannot convince them with the fact that I am able to be and I am the person, then what is the next thing to do? You have to then entice them. You have to then put to them, listen, Faris, you are now senior, and I'm just using Faris, right? Faris, you are now senior counsel.
So you're saying you have to bribe them?
It is called political negotiations. I did not say bribe them.
Okay, all right.
You could say to Faris, you are now senior counsel, And I would think that it will augur well for the look of the party if the Prime Minister is not a black man and the Attorney General is also not a black man, and therefore we start making the party look more national and more diverse and further diversified. And then Farris will say, me as Attorney General again. That's not a bad thing. And I am qualified even more now because I'm senior counsel. Okay, fine. And such and such and this and that and the other and the other and the other. That's one. Two, I don't believe that Penny Beckles is not an astute politician. And I also don't believe that Penny Beckles does not have a plan or a perspective or a strategy as to what her next political move will be. What I can say that I believe in my observation of the politics is that we do know that it has been shown again that in this current era, that Penny Beckles, by virtue of her capability, her experience, her relatability, her down-to-earth, her approach, her ability to communicate, the way she treats people, the way she has conducted herself in public life, X, Y, and Z, has garnered the support of a wide cross-section of persons in and out of the PNM. And therefore, she is going, even if she pushed back on the party, and for some reason she was removed as the prospective candidate for Arima, that would have caused even more problems for the party. So I am sure that Penelope Beckles is aware of what her political dominance or power is, what her capacity and capability is, and in the greater scheme of things, she has to use it strategically for the greater good of her own political survival, whatever is next for her as a political actor, as well as what is in the future of the PNM in the next general election. So I believe we should, I am very calm about this, because I think in truth and in fact, from the caller that just called about me putting all the bhaji and the okra and making a callaloo and bringing it down, boiling it down, and taking into consideration what Mrs. Baptiste Primer said, it ain't resolved yet. Wait. There was a time I tell a little wait, and all get vexed when I tell a little wait. And look, I come back full circle. What? Watch me, I get beat like a Good Friday Boboli when I tell a little wait. Right?
I remember that. You get licked.
But look, I saying it again. Wait and see. The only thing could possibly happen is the country has options, you know. You all ask me if I am happy about what the UNC is doing. There's always more to be done. We must always in life and in work and in our professional aspirations aspire for better. To not aspire for better means you have no ambition, right? But so in this instance, all eyes are now on the UNC to see how they raise the bar, because according to the next Prime Minister, just wait and see what team PNM is going to be. If I were to sit down and analyze it, whatever bacchanal happened last night inside, or didn't happen inside, or claimed to happen inside, or whatever machinations or did or did not happen inside Balize House, right? The bottom line is wait and see, because while they come out and they hug up and they talk, and some people say quiet, and some people say democracy at play, and this is the PNM and the stability. I hear you on all of that. They lie, because the PNM know how to hold the box together and put everybody in line and say, listen, we have an election to win.
Dr. Shane, you don't have to wait and see. At the end of the day, once Prime Minister Rowley is the political leader of the PNM, every man jack had to fall in line. Every man jack.
Agreed. And that in itself adds to the astuteness of the man who has been in politics for 45 years. If you in politics for 45 years and you reach Prime Minister and you don't know how to, I'm going to use this word loosely, manipulate the system to your benefit, then you learn nothing.
And Dr. Shane.
And manipulate the system to your benefit to the extent that you are manipulating it for your benefit as you also exit the political limelight.
Dr. Shane, let me go to this question here. Caribbean Soul.
Yes, the answer to Caribbean Soul is yes, he can. He has the ability to change members out all the way up until nomination day. And nomination day is only set when the election date is called.
No, but Dr. Shane, Stuart Young as Prime Minister can reverse no MP who screened. Dr. Rowley is the one that has that remit. Even though Stuart Young is the Prime Minister, he cannot say, all right, Penny, you no longer, you screen for Rima.
Wait, no. So then, okay, if that is the case then. If that is the case, why all of them went and signed?
Because Dr. Rowley is still the political leader. Dr. Rowley is the political leader.
And then what stops them? What stops them? Dr. Rowley does not sit alone in the screening committee.
Say that again? Say that again?
Dr. Rowley does not sit alone in this. He does not sit alone in the screening committee.
But he has the final
Read the PNM Constitution and Slim.
He has the
read the PNM Constitution and Slim.
Right
the chairmanship of the party. Read the position of chairman.
Let's read that right now. Let me go for that.
And
chairman. Let's read that.
Read chairman.
Chairman. The chairman, this is Appendix 5. The chairman of the movement, oh God, boy, there's so much about the chairman. The chairman of the movement.
Correct. Why is there so much about the chairman?
But listen now, but it didn't say nothing about the chairman responsible for could remove an MP. So this is my thing. Let's say, all right.
Wait.
A month later.
He didn't ask about MPs. He did not ask. Hold on. He did not ask about MPs. Caribbean Soul never asked the question about MPs.
If some PNM members are screened, he had to be talking about people who screen to become MPs. Can Stuart Young reverse out someone else? All right, let me say someone screen. Let me say Penelope Becker's screen. And Prime Minister Rowley, the screening committee approved her to be the representative for Rima. Can Stuart Young reverse her as being the representative for Rima? I think that's what he's asking. And I say no.
He could go to Dr. Rowley. But why?
No, because he's the Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley, the Prime Minister, the political leader of the party as the final say.
We just talk about duality of leadership. And you want me to make it more clear to you? Rowley and Young is one and the same.
Stuart Young is the Prime Minister now.
Stuart Young as Prime Minister, and Dr. Rowley as political leader is one and the same.
Well, all right. If you want to go down that road, I hear you.
And if I don't have the support of these 9 people, I would go to Dr. Rowley and say, we need to rethink who we put in to run in these seats because my prime ministership.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense. So that sort of answers Caribbean Soul question.
I find I had to read and spell for you today. I don't want to do that. The only thing all you have to do is walk with a set of slides and start a lecture.
But Dr. Shay, Dr. Mohammed, doing that would further.
Yes, sir.
Yes, messing with those 9 persons would further destroy the party's chances of securing.
But there's a but. Of the 9 persons there, who has the most power to shake the whole party if ever considered to be removed? And that is Penny. Correct.
Penny. And I'm saying that if the Prime Minister feels that he's not getting the proper cooperation from her, he may choose to remove her.
And risk the whole PNM imploding? And risk the whole PNM imploding?
Listen, this Prime Minister Rowley, you know. He mashed up the PNM to become Prime Minister. He mashed up the PNM to become Prime Minister.
But he also wants his protege to become Prime Minister.
I understand that.
Are we going through? Let me ask you this.
If he get rid of Penny, if he gets rid of Penny, smooth sailing for Stuart Young?
Wait, no. Okay. If you get rid of Penny Beckers now,
yeah.
If you get rid of Penny Beckers now, it diminishes Stuart Young's chances of becoming Prime Minister, because there's going to be a huge turnout of persons within the PNM that go say, "That's what they do, Penny. We're not voting for the UN for the PNM." Or "That's what they do, Penny. We go teach them a lesson."
Listener.
What risk? What do you want to risk? Do you want to risk the government? Is a man so critical, or are you so petty that you're going to risk government? At the end of the day, what do political parties jostle for?
But Dr. Shane, he exiled Penny to New York previously. He exiled Amy Brown to Brazil previously.
Hold on.
Okay.
And let us be fair. Let us be fair to those 2 individuals. He, according to you, exiled Penny as permanent representative to the United Nations, which is one of the most prestigious ambassadorships that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yeah.
And he also made Amory ambassador to Brazil, which is also one of the most prestigious ambassadorships for Latin America and the region. And what did they do with those platforms? They outshine themselves in the platforms. They became flag bearers for Trinidad and Tobago in the presence of a lame duck minister of foreign affairs, who I can't even remember what the man's name is. He is one of those who will go down in our history books as a Stephen McClatchy, who was a minister, and we can't remember the man's name.
Oh, the fellow was foreign affairs.
Can you that fella who went on to become the High Commissioner to Canada?
Yeah,
right. The man that man who couldn't speak, right? Who, as a result of him, we became a lame duck in the international player in the geopolitical sphere, right? So the point is this: these 2 people, Penny and Amy, took their ambassadorships and they made something of themselves and made something of it. Let me ask you something. In the last 5 years that the PNM has been in power, which ambassador can you recall from 2020 to this date, to the 12th of January 2025, which ambassador can you identify is outstanding?
The fellow name was Dennis Moses.
That man.
Okay, that's a good question. Let me see, boy. Rodney Charles was the ambassador too, right?
No, we're talking about which current PNM ambassador between 2020 and 2025 is outstanding.
Isn't London? London.
You know who? You know who they're going to say? You know who they're going to say? They're going to say the man who is currently the president of the UN.
No. No, he.
But he is, and imagine he is our permanent representative to the United Nations. And can you recall his name?
Nah, can't recall his name.
There you go. Can you recall who is the person who is in London right now?
Nah.
Exactly. Can you call the person who is in India right now? No.
Nah.
The only person that I can recall, and that is only because I remember it because it is a recent one, is Conrad Enel, who is in Guyana.
Yeah, because
and Conrad Gablai. Conrad Gablai. Right?
So yeah.
Gablai.
So yeah.
So let us be real.
But I want you to address Caribbean Soul question here. He says you are wrong, and I agree with Caribbean Soul. I agree with him. Because listen to a supporter of Beckers yesterday, that man said he for penny, but if Stuart Young get it, he's still supporting the PNM. I agree with that. Even though they kick out Penny, them PNM people, them sticking with the PNM, just sticking, look, like look what happened.
There's something called say. Do you know that person I think might be a candidate for, he might possibly be screened for W. O'Mara?
The fellow what name or call? From Arima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, is a potential candidate for W. O'Mara.
Correct.
Casimir or something.
Yes, that's correct. Casimir.
Right. He's a councillor. Casimir is currently a councillor in the Arima borough. Right?
Yeah.
So he's a potential candidate. He's a potential. I believe he might be screening for the W. O'Mara seat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you going to screen for the W. O'Mara seat, right? You go in and beat your chest and say penny. You go in and get X out one time. No.
So that's the same thing. If they decide they kick out Penny, then people are going to say, well, boy, Penny, they go turn on she.
No. You see, Penny has done nothing to deserve getting kicked out. And she has played this very well, right? And she's not going to upset the apple cart, because we also have to think down the road. We're just thinking up until a certain point. We need to think further down the road. I need to think long game here. Who is CPT? Who is Hugh Francis?
Former Minister of Works. He was a Minister of Works under Manning.
Hugh Francis was a Minister of Works under Manning?
Yeah.
What year? 1991 to 1995?
I don't remember the year. Hugh Francis.
It had to be 91 to 95, because Hugh Francis. Only have me googling on the political unknown.
Yeah. Who was Hugh Francis? I know Hugh Francis. Under Patrick.
Member of Parliament for Diego Martin West in the first
I remember him.
Parliament. Oh God, I'll carry me way back, man. This is the first and second Republican Parliament. We reached the 12th, you know. We reached the 12th Republican Parliament. Minister of Works, Maintenance and Drainage.
Yeah, that's
in the second Republican Parliament. Olio, when was the second Republican Parliament, Olio? Oh God, I was born then.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Olio, don't do me that now, man. I was born then.
Nah. But Capitan, you're bringing back
first and second Republican Parliament. We're in the 12th Republican Parliament at this moment, at this point in time. The first Republican Parliament is 1976 to 1981. I think London has come back from. I don't think London is still.
All right. Let's take this call. Caller, welcome. You have a question for Dr. Shane? Caller.
witness. I am just confused because I turned on the TV and for the last hour or 2 hours, are we a political, a PNM? Are we going up, anybody here going up for PNM? Why are we concentrating on the PNM and what they do and what they did not do? I haven't heard anybody else name called. Get off of it. Well, for me, I don't know. In my mind, I don't even know if there will be office in the next. Why am I worried who, when, and where when they are, in my mind, defunct? Right? You have to concentrate on Wall Street going up, might be a whatever. Whatever. Why are we only talking about PNM? PNM has to pay all the real good or no? I hope you're eating out of the questions here.
Caller, what going up for there? Thanks, caller. What going up for?
You have to go up. Sean should have been some kind of representative for Tonapun. I don't know where Sean is from, but he had to go up for somewhere and then Paul Tony something else.
Oh. So you didn't Dr. Shane had to go up. Dr. Shane had to go up.
All of you all were speaking there.
But who we going up with? Who we going up with? No. We can't go up with the PNM caller. Who we going up with?
That is where you have been speaking from the time you
No,
open
caller.
your mouth. Everything is yes.
Caller, listen to this. Right? And the thing is that this situation here is helping UNC with a roadmap in the things they should do.
Well,
right, to put them, but that's what we're doing. We are doing.
That is what we in the UNC are doing quietly, and while everybody's yapping. So don't you know?
Okay, cool.
All I'm saying, I like Wall Street show, and I came on to hear something. But it's better you put Bisram food on. Better talk about Karayri or whatever Bisram or whatever ate today. Are you telling me about them things?
You know, caller, listen, let me tell you something. I hear what you're saying, and I have to take, let me apologize.
Wait. Mr. Salanda, hold on. Go ahead, Dr. Shane. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. For the longest while I'm trying to tell them, this is not an issue. This is a dead issue. Okay. Let us now wait to see what happens next, right? Let us wait to see what happens next. This is just the beginning of it, right? But oh God, do me one favor. Don't compare me to Bisram, please. I can't take that one. I can take anything. I can take all you calling me a PNM, but don't compare me to Nata Pullman.
Caller, thank you.
Why wait? I don't want to go to Dr. Sean there for the longest while. So I have to be here for a little while too.
No, but you had to ask a question. You had to ask a question, caller.
Well, he's talking. I listen to what he's saying. Like he asked his own question, okay?
Okay.
He told us, wait. All I'm saying is,
yes,
that I already waited and I don't have to wait. I saw. He said, wait and see. Well, I saw Kamala after the next 5 minutes, just grinning and skinning, and I saw yellow. So that's all I saw.
Listen,
wait and see.
Okay? That is not.
Hello?
All right, caller, hang up and listen. Hang up and listen. Go ahead, Dr.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The caller has a point. I don't understand. I don't believe that this needs overly ventilating much longer. Something has happened. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago has decided that he no longer wants to be Prime Minister.
Caller, please hold on.
The mechanisms available to him he used the mechanisms available to him to transition out of the office and for somebody else to take over. Yes, there was political jostling. Yes, there was political meandering of the process in order to get to the end product. But the bottom line is the man has achieved his goal, which is that Stuart Young takes over. Last night, the PNM ratified that. Story done.
All right.
It is now to see what the UNC does.
Correct.
As they make their way to the finish line. And if they take this competition for granted, they may fall short of the finish line.
Okay, caller, you have a question for Dr. Shane, and I want to say something too. Caller, you have a question for Dr. Shane? Go ahead. Mr. Karanaj.
I just want to make I have one question. I just want to make a point, but the caller just now was made the point when Stuart Young said, wait and see what PNM will bring for the next general election of 2025. Well, I read that statement, because what we have to look at now is what Tobago has done. And it's the same rhetoric they're coming with. Let's have drama, set up promises, and again, I go back to this is my point of view. The opposition have to step up the game because they is weak. Right. And another question: can a person who vying for office I know they can have a criminal matter and for office, but there are civil matters. They can be still given position in the public domain.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. Let's answer that. Go ahead, Dr. Shea.
Yes, they can. Yes, nothing prevents somebody. I mean, there are people who are, a civil matter is also something that falls under the remit of divorce and maintenance and, or the settlement and all. Yes, those things most tend to be also, unless it's a defamation and a scandalous one that, but the bottom line is this, gentlemen, ladies, something has occurred, something has happened. The country has to now look on and see how does Dr. Rowley's conviction of Stuart Young being the best person to lead the country, how does that materialize within the next couple of months? And in a couple of months will be very short. It will be for the period March, April, May, June, July, who knows, right? It is when Mr. Young believes that he is comfortable enough, when he is may have healed wounds, when he would have fully conglomerated the PNM, and he may need 6 months to do it. Well, not 5, right? So, and then the country now has to judge the country has to judge the PNM on 2 things: the prime ministership of Dr. Rowley, which was for 9 3/4 years, and then the prime ministership of Mr. Young, which may very well be for 1/4 years. So you have 2 prime ministers within a 10-year period, one more than the other, but you can judge them by the whole, right? I will say this. Yes, I agree with the caller, 100%. And the UNC is duty bound to the people of Trinidad and Tobago to do better. And they need to up their game, and the tempo needs to start to raise, and the excitement needs to happen with exciting candidates. There are some good, strong candidates at present. 1 or 2 are shaky, and they should also be revisited. But I do believe that there should be a stellar, and I use the word stellar, team selected by Mrs. Prasad Bisesa to take her into this legacy project of becoming Prime Minister once again. The same way the Republican Party was able to coalesce and come together and won handsomely against the Democrats in the United States for Mr. Trump to return as President of the United States.
Okay, let's take this call. Caller.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Dr. Shane.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, to the doctor, the credit. I give doctor the credit to you know to take care of the real issue. But what I know the problem, we don't care who they put there. They can put a dog, let the park and the issues to get the PNM. Because we don't see the feeling we're going in this country and the PNM. So what I political strategy, Dr. Ali, that man, he's a science man. Shane is a doctor, listen, to get rid of the PNM, that's the problem right now.
All right. So Dr. Shane, I wanna address something in today's Express, right? It's a headline that says Surridge and Kamala. They are telling her what she wants to hear, not the truth. I don't know if you saw it, but it says a former United Congress minister is calling on the party's political leader, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, to reveal her plans and say what she will do differently to convince the electorate in the upcoming general election. In a social media post Friday, former Tabakit MP Suraj Rambachan questioned whether the UNC had a strategy to win in 2025. He said it appeared that while the electorate was fed up with the People's National Movement, it was not yet motivated to vote for the UNC. The UNC needed to answer the question of how it, as a government in waiting, has distinguished itself from the PNM and restored the faith in the electorate that the UNC was a capable future government, he stated. He added, what Mrs. Bessessa did in the past is now largely irrelevant to the people in comparison to what they need to hear from Mrs. Bessessa in terms of the refashioned UNC and TT. Rambachan was also critical of the people advising Prasad Bessessa, saying that the individuals around her were enemies and were pulling her down every day by their selfishness and self-seeking attitudes and behavior. They are telling her what she wants to hear, not the truth, and they can't tell her the truth because the majority of them have nothing without leaning on her shoulders. This is a bitter truth. They have become emotional props, but her political grave diggers, he continued. That's just a part of what Suraj Rambachan had to say. Is this sour grapes?
So
is that sour grapes?
No. I don't think that is sour grapes. So there's nothing for Dr. Rambachan to be sour about, anyways, right? At this stage of his political, at this stage of his life, his political life has been an illustrious one. But here's the thing. I agree that everything that happened between 2010 and 2015 is irrelevant to our political space for 2025 and beyond. I stand by my word and I stand by my belief that 2025 is a threshold period for Trinidad and Tobago to either take a path of prosperity or poverty. And how we take the path of prosperity is dependent on whether political parties are able to present to the population several things. Dr. Rambachan said he spoke about policies. I don't believe that policies and policy positions cannot be done without proper subject matter research, examination, assessment, and formulation. And therefore, I heard something on a UNC platform a couple of weeks ago where Mrs. Prasad Bessessa said that she will raise the age limit for gambling to 25 and the use of marijuana to the age of 25. Let me ask this question. How does that change our socioeconomic standing? Does that add a level of morality into the country that removes the criminality and the element of people and how people make their daily living? The answer to that is no. If I were to walk into any casino, will I see people between the ages of 18 and 25 or 18 and 35 in there in great numbers? No. And if you are moving the age group, the age bracket of smoking marijuana to the age of 25, then you have killed an entire industry where Jamaica is benefiting. I read an article today where Jamaica is having a conversation about revisiting sugar and sugarcane and sugar manufacturing because the market value of sugar is high and it is a sustainable aspect of economic growth and development. That is something we need to and that's the thing. So at the end of the day, policies, right? The whole idea of policy has to be holistic. It must be innovative. It must be creative. It must be outside the box. It must be able to take Trinidad and Tobago into the palms of diversification. We are now on the outskirts of diversification because we're only talking, and we are not doing. The next United National Congress government has to be one that is a doer, not a talker. It must be prepared to put people in office who are going to put their heads down and do the work to move the country forward. So Dr. Rambachan is right on that point. And the next point is that ability to do the work that is required is directly linked to the caliber of candidates that you put in your lineup as potential ministers. And you don't want the country to say, you see this one, and Dr. Ramachan didn't call any names, but the quote-unquote advisors to the opposition leader must also know what their own limitations are in the ability to become ministers of government. And
let's take this call. Caller, you have a question for Dr. Shane? Caller.
Dr. Shane, when you heard you read something, one of the policies I think that Kamala Prasad is bringing through. But I wanted to know, is that the only policy you heard? You, as you just said, you have to look at the whole thing. That is just a one. But what I want to do is to thank you, and I hope to see you in office, just like how you're expounding here. You would be driving our country in a different direction, the different way. We all have to come together to do that, right? So all I'm telling you is, thank you for today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in office.
Thank you.
I'm not saying PNM or saying PNM or you. In office.
Caller, let me tell you something. I will say this to you.
I think she wants just a UNC, Shane, Dr. Shane.
I have said this. I will say this. I will say this, right? At the end of the day, we always, I remember there's a line that we are duty bound to do what is in the best interest for the good of the country, for the good of the nation. And yes, the caller is right. That is just one of the policies that I listen to and I think can be corrected, right? So that there is a greater revenue stream that we can provide for Trinidad and Tobago in the diversification process. And if the universe and the powers that be see me as fitting to hold an office to be part of any team, of any organization that has the interests of Trinidad and Tobago at heart, when one is called to serve a nation, you don't say no. Okay? That is my position on that. But at the end of the day,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right? At the end of the day, however, until such time that that occurs or does not occur, my responsibility is not to sit down here and talk about what happened in the PNM and how we move from Rowley to that has happened. It has happened. He has gotten his way. We are now to move, right? And I agree with you, Volsang. The cocoa industry is not the only one. The coconut industry, the rice industry, our agriculture industry.
Plenty.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley, as the chairman of the CSME in 2018 at a CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, said that the breadbasket of the Caribbean region should be Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana and Suriname, because we are outside the hurricane belt and we have the capacity to produce. I am saying that there are so many opportunities when it comes to renewable energy, when it comes to going back to the agrarian industry, when it comes to utilizing certain manpower that is available to us to put people in the fields to work. It will take a lot of innovation. But at the end of the day, Dr. Ramachan is also right. There are people who are advising the political leader of the UNC who only have themselves and their perception of what power is. They believe that perception is about owning a fancy vehicle and carrying the title of MP. The power in political science lies in winning office and sustaining it. And I stand very strong by that perspective, right? So you can't want to win your seat and lose the government and then say, well, no, it is not about me. It is not about you. It is not about Penny. It is not about Stuart. It is not about Kamala. It is about those children out there. It is about the children who don't have food today on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, who didn't have a lot of food to eat. It is about children who didn't have the opportunity to be properly educated because their mother and father didn't have the money to send them to school. It is about the children who are not in school and who are actually on the road selling vegetables that should actually be in school and not be selling vegetables without an education in a country that was rich in oil and gas not too long ago. This country is not in the place that it ought to have been given its wealth for the last 60-something plus years. And any government that is aspiring for office in 2025 has to be prepared to put their head down, select effective people, and go and do the people's work and make this country prosperous. Not for we, half of us, we life done, but for children. You know how many children that live in this country that don't know what the zoo look like? Or going to the beach is an exciting thing for them, when for other people they take it for granted because that's a norm. You know how many people, how many children getting a KFC on a weekend is something exciting because they don't happen every month? Think about the poor, the underprivileged in this country, the people who are struggling to make ends meet, the people who are educated and have. And listen, I'm not telling all this because I am guessing. What about those professionals who I know have degrees and who have struggled to get jobs and have come out of who have been on the threshold of suicide? What about that?
Hold on.
Those are the people that matter in this country.
Caller, you have a question for Dr. Shane, and Dr. Shane, I have a quick point. Go ahead, caller. You have a quick question for Dr. Shane. You almost at the top of the hour.
Mr. Worksheet, Uncle Tommy and Mr. Shane, I want to compliment you. And two things that really took me here this afternoon while I've been beaten. One is when you said that Rowley call everybody in, and according to what Rowley wanted, in other words, they have to go with what Rowley said. And second thing you said, that's paragraph or statement they make just when speaking about the children. A lot of people don't understand what you now said there. You know. Not a little thing what you now said concerning the children. You brought water to my eyes. Because when you're saying it's so true, I see every day they beat them. Some of them will ask children, you know, why you're not going to school. And these simple little things, any government pick up these simple little things, will be a government to stay. Very good. And I mean, it's the best I've ever heard you speak in any interview on this program.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a good program as usual.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Dr. Shane, before you go, what is your take on stand your ground laws in Trinidad and Tobago?
I think it's a strong policy. I believe, given the state of this country, if it is properly articulated, properly written, properly legislated, ensuring and safeguarding all parties involved, run with it.
My take is that the Castle Doctrine is a much better doctrine for Trinidad and Tobago than stand your ground.
And I'll tell you this. Yes, I agree with you. And as I say this, I said we've had this conversation before, and I will say this. A lot of people don't understand that they interchange words, but really and truly they don't realize that the interchanging of word changes the meaning.
Caller, hold on.
Right?
Hold on, caller. Go ahead.
So for me, yes, the castle doctrine, where you defend yourself within your premises and your castle, and your castle can be described as your vehicle or your car, your business or your house, your property. Your castle has to be defined, right? So I understand that and I agree with you. So yes, I am interchanging the word, but I agree with you on this on the castle doctrine rather than stand your ground, because stand your ground can be misinterpreted.
Yes, caller, what's your question for Dr. Shane?
Just question. I just want to make a point. I think as Dr. Mario Brown had also come up with that indication that for the UNC processor to come out of that formula that to take this country forward, because you are offering 10%, and I can't remember some of the statements you make. But all these are political catchment. Nothing wrong with it. But the deeper issue is to bring out something that
will take this country forward so people could gravitate to. And so far, they haven't shown that. You know, that's like a small electric 10%. And although they're trying to win support of the union. And that is not taking us nowhere, as your guest has said. We have to forget what the whole past, you know, of who get baby grant and who get computer. This still in that frame of mind, bringing that to the public, you know, what they have done in the last 10 years, you know, and the PNN strategizing on them and moving forward.
Yeah. So I, Dr. Shane, what I have done, and Tommy, I have looked at some of the health policies that the UNC have put forward, and a lot of those policies make very, very good sense, right? And there are other things too that they have put forward that make sense, and there are things that I don't agree with. And I think, Dr. Shane, you know who is Kamla, Mrs. Kamla Prasad, Mrs. Advisors? I don't know. I'm asking. You I go leave it there. I go leave it there because I just feel sometimes when I see some things coming out, I'm a little concerned about
let me
those
ask you something.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. It's very simple. You position yourself as to who are the ministers of health, who are, so the current health, national security, public utilities, education, social development, the main drivers. And then ask yourself, who in the UNC can stand up to those persons? And can they be outshined by the PNM or can they outshine the PNM? And then if your answers are coming up short, then you have to question the caliber. So obviously for the caller, the female caller, listen, I don't know her name. I am not an anti-UNC person. I am pro-country. I am not anti-PNM. I am pro-country. It is what is good for the betterment of the nation and what is good for the generations that we have to create a pathway of prosperity for. So the caller talk about the children in Bitam, but what about the children in Francistown? And what are the children in Mayaro? And the children in Grandy? And all over, right? What about those children? And not only the children, what about when you go to the hospitals and people have the mental anguish that people go through as patients and then they go through as families that are waiting to hear what is happening. Listen, I went through a horrid experience in our nation's public health system 1 year ago. And I will tell you that if I can make a difference, one of the things that will be at the top of my agenda is how we address, how we deal with that issue of intake of persons in the emergencies and how we structure this place. This country needs structure, it needs processes, it needs new procedures.
Oh, well, Dr. Shane is frozen. So, folks, while we get back, Dr. Shane, please put your closing comments in the chat or send your closing voice note. Please put your closing quote in the chat or your closing voice note. Dr. Shane has been frozen on us. Tommy, he is frozen on us.
Yes, internet is acting up.
Yeah, let me see something. He frozen, so let's wait and see. So, folks, of course, it's about who leading. Okay, so we go. What is that? All right, here we go. All right, you froze there for a little bit.
The internet dropped for a few seconds.
I think.
So at the end of the day,
or somebody might say the PNM listening to your conversation.
At the end of the day, folks, my closing at 3:59 is this. We need to do better.
Yeah.
And we have and those who aspire for office are responsible. They cannot want the authority and not want the responsibility. Something I lectured yesterday. Authority and responsibility and transparency and accountability go hand in hand. You can't want the authority alone and don't want their responsibility and then the accountability and transparency. And we have to challenge those who are aspiring for office to do better, not only for the good of the nation, but for the good of the generations ahead. That's my closing.
Dr. Shane, it's always a pleasure to have you. We thank you so much. And as soon as you're gonna run for the MP for the office, just let me know now. We go work things out. All right.
I might be on a long distance. I might be on a long distance call.
All right. Okay. Take care. We'll talk. All right. Bye bye.
Dr. Shane, all the best for the new year.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Bye bye. Yeah. So
you too, and everyone else.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Dr. Shane Mohammed, no stranger here to Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics.
Or the village.
Yeah, and Tommy, just before you go, look, watch the comment by the fella. Let me go for the break. Folks, you're going for the break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Tommy, this is all I'm asking. All I'm asking that the PNM don't really take advice they don't take good advice from people, right? And I am hoping that when the UNC comes in power, I'm saying when, that they are open to suggestions that will make Trinidad and Tobago a better place. And I have said all the time, for many, many times, Tommy, that one of the big things Trinidad and Tobago has to do is to create. I just see something just come through here. Oh, okay. It's alleged. All right. I move out defender, I hear you. But, until if we could confirm anything, we'll wait and see. Yeah, it's alleged. There's something alleged with the Minister of Health, Terrence Diarsing. Yeah, Tommy. 41 recreation departments, or one recreation department in each one of the 41 constituencies in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? That is something significant, and it's badly needed in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? And that also has to do with crime prevention initiative as well. So I think that's very, very important. Bijram says sent a clip from Philip Edward Alexander. What clip is that? Okay. All right. We'll get to that next time. So, folks, we will get to that one next time. Bijram. All we hear from Kamla is promise with no revenue streams to support it. Where you get that from, buddy? Caribbean Source of Volsang, it right there. We can make a constitution by taking part from other countries that's doing well. Okay. Lisa, okay. All right. Tommy, you want to go first with your closing quotes? Unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm saying about superstition. Believing things you don't understand encourages you to suffer. Anyway, like I always say, you have to become that change you want to see. You, Mr. in the mirror. However, if you look in that mirror and you don't like what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Be safe out there. See you tomorrow in the village, God willing. Good night.
Thank you, Tommy.
You're welcome.
My closing quote. Let me see. Hold on.
Today is Sunday. God, good morning. Today is Sunday, Father, January 12th, and my heart overflows with gratitude. Thank you for another beautiful day and for this moment you have lovingly prepared. May this Sunday be filled with peace, renewal, joy, and your presence in every detail. In the shining sun, the singing birds, the breeze, and the simplicity of life. Lord, I place everything in your hands. Bless my steps, my family, my friends, and everyone I love. May this day be a time of rest for the body, nourishment for the soul, and a reminder of your endless grace, guided by your light. Renew my faith, strengthen my heart, and fill my spirit with hope so that I can bring love, comfort, and encouragement to everyone around me. Help me trust in you completely in every decision, knowing that you care for everything with perfect wisdom. Thank you for this Sunday, Father. May it be blessed, peaceful, purposeful, and full of your abundant grace. Amen.
From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. Let me see any closing notes here from Alech. Thank you, Mover Defender. Miss Atlanta, closing comments. Miss Atlanta, closing comments. I often regret that I have spoken, never that I have been silent. Dr. Shade, we need you in office. Wall Street and Tommy, good show. That's Miss Atlanta. Here we have Gordon Joseph, closing quote.
Dr. Shane, thank you very much. My closing comments. You see, people like you, we need to hear more from. But sometimes what happens is some people put a label on the people who are balanced and the people who love country more than party. So you find you mightn't get much invitation. You'll get, but you mightn't get much. You understand? I won't get much invitation. You understand? Dominic, Mr. Yates, yeah? Alinat. And I could call more, no? They won't get much invitation. Because the people with the mic, the 2.5 of them, they know what they want to hear. They know what the agenda is that they have set. They have set. Total failure. I hope, and you're just kind of hoping that they learn, but because listen, the government cannot do everything on its own, by itself. We need good governance. And that's why some people are calling for election for opposition too. Because I can't be paying these people money and they're doing a quarter mile of, and they will let the front line of the government do what they want, say what they want, how they want. I can't. But I had to take that until election time come around. I had to take that. That's what they tell me. I had to take that. Hey, boy. Well, I'm glad the thing boy down like Baji. You understand? The tail between the leg now. Let me hear what they coming with tomorrow, please, God, and do it. But I feel I will get this bloody thing arrested because it ain't making sense, boy. The Guyanese ask the children if stick break in their ears because, oh, God, like they ain't hearing, boy. They ain't hearing. They call a whole match, you know. Not a half or a quarter, and a whole match, you know. How much it was? The equivalent of about 6.5 of them attended. And you know, they still come back with a dotationist rhetoric. Yeah? Because the agenda is hate. Get rid of. They don't care what happens after. They care, they start to fight one another and mash up the thing. All they want is get rid of. Look, all you have a good afternoon. God is good, yes. Liverpool didn't lose. Barcelona didn't lose. Yeah.
Takesha said it's always a pleasant being in the village. God bless everyone. Great job, Ansem and Tommy. Closing comment by Fox. Dr. Shane, how many revenue streams Kamala had for TNT outside what is existing? Lisa says, we were going places with the UNC, but we thought the pasture was green on the other side. Woe is me. I didn't see Mr. Intellectual today. Volsang says, Walls, Tommy, thank you for your time. Volsang says, closing comment, I'm exhausted. Why are you exhausted, partner? Okay, let me make sure. I think that's it. Let me make sure we have no more voice notes. Mr. Atlanta says we are all made different to learn from each other. There you go. So, folks, don't forget tomorrow, same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Let me say welcome to the Belmont midfielder that is sitting on the bench. Welcome to you. We out of here. We're going to go out with Feeling the Pain. Plenty of people feeling the pain in Trinidad and Tobago. I had to play this song a little more. Feeling the Pain. There we go.
Yeah. I used to feel proud. I used to feel glad just to be born right here in Trinidad. The Caribbean Godfather, hand up chutney pan and sing. Like something gone wrong, my whole country turn upside down. Cause we feeling the pain, we feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love here? It's too much of talk and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. I feel any strain. Yes, it's pain driving the country insane. Oh. Oh. Whoa, whoa. It's endless murders, robberies and rape, little children, seniors nonchalant. We promoting tourism, begging the tourists to come. Between you and me, those with eyes to see, let them see. Cause we feeling the pain, we feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love here? There's too much of talk, and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. Yes, it's pain driving the country insane. Did I know? Oh. Whoa, whoa. can't find no place to go. Then you retrench a worker, he's left on the street to suffer. Not only he, you destroy the whole family. Because we feeling the pain, we feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love, yeah? It's too much of talk, and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. We're feeling the strain. Yes, there's pain right in the country and today. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Too much corruption right here in this land. Illegal drugs destroying this nation. While vagrants and destitutes, they are left on the street alive. It just goes to show we lack concern in Trinidad. Because I'm feeling the pain, feeling the strain. When would there be peace and love? Yeah. It's too much of talk, and little action. Like we need the master to solve the situation. Sing the song. You're feeling the strain. Yes, there's pain. Like